Greetings, everybody. Beautiful night here in Kansas City, Missouri. The Tigers resume action against the Kansas City Royals. The Royals now on top of the Western Division of the American League. And the Tigers are suffering from a slight losing streak. They've dropped their last three. Bob Sykes will be on the mound for the Tigers tonight. The left-hander will be facing the right-hander Dennis Leonard, representing the Kansas City team. Paul Carey's here. My name's Ernie Harwell. We'll be back in 1 minute with the starting lineup.
WJR Director of Fine Arts, Carl Haas, concert pianist and musicologist, is your resident guide to Adventures in Good Music, a daily exploration of symphonic, opera, chamber music, oratorios, and tone poems that contribute to the world's treasure chest of great performances and the people responsible for them. Discussed in a personal way that makes listening and learning a daily delight, Adventures in Good Music. We celebrate the birthday of Viva Vivaldi, or usher in a new season with compositions written in tribute to a special time of the year. Flirtatious notes, cheer for the Irish, and anthems incorporated. Those are but a few of the program themes brought to new light by Dr. Haas. Broaden your musical horizons with Adventures in Good Music. Afternoons at 2:10, here on WJR, Radio 76.
Pre-game ceremony on the field right now. They've had the Player of the Month award. Now they've got a salute to scouting. And we'll turn the microphone over to Mr. Paul Carey.
All right, Ernie, thank you very much. We're set for the windup of this two-game series with the Kansas City Royals here at Royal Stadium. Royals taking the opener last night 7-1, and with the win, moved into first place by that single percentage point over the Oakland A's. The Tigers have now lost 3 in a row and still have not shaken off the effects of that disastrous Eastern trip to Baltimore and Boston. The team has been flat in most of its games since then. They've not got the hits together, the big hit at the right time, getting that hit with a man in scoring position with 2 outs, and missing the home run ball when they really needed it. Now, let's see what they can do here tonight in their second game in Kansas City after getting a little test last night, at least, on this unfamiliar and very bouncy artificial turf at Royal Stadium. Tonight, Bob Sykes goes head-to-head with Dennis Leonard. They matched up last Saturday in Detroit. And Leonard bested Sykes on that occasion when the Royals took a 6-3 victory. Leonard going all the way despite giving up 9 hits and walking 3 and a couple of home runs to Kemp and Thompson in that ball game. Tigers in that game were... Well, that's kind of a pretty good example of what's been happening to the Tigers. They had 9 hits. They had 2 home runs. But the home runs came with the bases empty. And when they had people on, they just simply could not bring them in. And Leonard managed to go all the way. It was a strong pitching performance by Dennis, whose record is deceptive. He's won 5 and lost 9, but his club has not scored many runs behind him generally this season when he has been on the mound. In fact, he started off very well, winning his first 3 games. Then during the month of May, Leonard did not win a single contest. He now has pitched, however, 3 consecutive complete games. Bob Sykes got kind of a quick hook from Ralph Houk last Saturday afternoon. You may recall Sykes looked pretty strong. He gave up a single in the first inning, set down the side in order in the second, third, and fourth innings. But in the 5th inning, with 1 out, 3 straight singles brought in a Kansas City run. And then with 2 out, another single by UL Washington scored a second Kansas City run. And at that point in time, it was a 2-2 ball game when Sykes left. The loss was pinned to Jack Morris, who took over for Sykes in the 5th inning. So Sykes is getting a start here after being off Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, just 3 days between starts. Going again against these... I beg your pardon. We've gone... This is Thursday night. I've forgotten. They're all running together. So Bob has had a normal allotment of 4 days off between starts. He goes against Dennis Leonard here tonight. I'll check the starting lineups right after we pause for station identification. This is the Detroit Tigers Baseball Network.
You're listening to the great voice of the Great Lakes, WJR Detroit Radio 76, a service of Capital Cities Communications.
Well, the Tigers tonight against the right-hander Dennis Leonard, there are some noteworthy changes in the starting lineup. as set by manager Ralph House. Leading off, playing in center field, is Ron LaFleur. Batting second, the left fielder, Steve Kemp. Hitting third for Detroit, the DH, Rusty Staub. Batting fourth, first baseman, Jason Thompson. Batting fifth, doing the catching, Milt May. Hitting sixth in right field will be Mickey Stanley. Batting seventh, at second base, Lou Whitaker. Hitting eighth, playing third base, Aurelio Rodriguez. And batting ninth, shortstop, Alan Trammell. Now, Ralph has made a couple of changes in that Stanley is playing in right field against a right-handed starter, and Rodriguez is in at third base against a right-handed starter. And Ron LaFleur, who had been dropped to the seventh position when a right-hander was starting, is back up in the leadoff spot. Ralph said that he felt that by putting him back in the leadoff spot, it might help Ron's confidence. He's been thinking too much, Ralph says, and he just simply told Ron, go ahead and forget all the things you've been hearing and been told and guessing and what have you. Just go ahead and feel natural as possible at the plate and go ahead and take your cut. And he put him back up on the leadoff spot on the lineup. Tim Corcoran, who normally starts against a right-handed pitcher, is out with a pulled muscle in his side. He pulled it in batting practice the other day. Not the back problem that he racked up against the wall at Tiger Stadium. And so Tim is sitting this one out. And it would appear with the Tigers facing left-hander Friday, a right-hander Saturday, and a left-hander Sunday in Minnesota that Tim's next action would be Saturday against the Twins. And Aurelio Rodriguez in at third base, despite a right-hander on the mound for Kansas City. Because of the turf here at Kansas City, that's why Ralph felt that he wanted Rodriguez and his glove to play with the experience he's had in the Kansas City Stadium at third tonight. For the Royals against Bob Sykes, leading off and playing in left field will be Joe Zebb. Batting second, their designated batter, Hal McRae. Hitting third, at third base will be George Brett. Batting fourth in center field, Amos Otis. Hitting fifth and in right field, Al Collins. Batting seventh, or rather sixth, and at first base tonight, John Waffen. Hitting seventh, the catcher, Darrell Porter. Batting eighth at shortstop will be Freddie Patek. And batting ninth, the second baseman, Frank White. Now, the Royals lineup has Zebb leading off in left, followed by McRae, the DH, Brett at third, Otis in center, Collins in right, Waffen at first, Porter catching, Patek at short, and White at second. Now, he's got his two catchers in the lineup here tonight with Porter behind the plate and Waffen in at first base. As Ernie pointed out during the course of the game last night, Clint Hurdle had been straining at the plate, had not been hitting the ball well at all, and was giving some time off by Whitey Herzog. Last night, they had Pete Lecoq in there again for his second straight game at first base. And tonight, with a left-hander on the mound, John Waffen is seeing action at first base. Temperature is right now 89 degrees here in Kansas City. It got warmer today than it did yesterday. Well, we still got that strong wind blowing from the right field corner across the field toward the left field corner. And it's one of those nights that pitchers don't like. It's warm, it's humid, and the wind is blowing generally out toward left field. Now the Royals are being introduced individually to take their defensive positions. The umpires will line up this way tonight. Behind the plate, it'll be Larry McCoy. At first, Steve Palermo. At second, Don Denkinger. And at third, Dave Phillips. Now, Ernie mentioned the fact that they honor the players of the month. Amos Otis and Rich Gale, the player and the pitchers of the month for the Kansas City Ball Club. But when they announced Amos Otis' name and the plaque to be given to him, Amos didn't come out of the dugout to get it. Freddie Patek went out and got it instead. But Rich Gale did show up to receive his award. Now we invite you to join us here in listening to the recording of the Mormon Tabernacle Choir in our national anthem. Now, before tonight's game begins, we'll pause for these messages.
Little Caesar's Pizza, tastiest in town. A winner any way you slice it, all the way around.
The carry-outs are good and hot, great for nighttime snacks. Or sit down at Little Caesar's.
Just order and relax.
Big things are happening at Little Caesars. When you're hungry for some thick, juicy pizza with chewy cheese, spicy sauce, and freshly baked crust, try Little Caesars. It's a treat that's hard to beat. Buy one medium pizza and get the second one free. Just clip out the 2-for-1 free pizza coupon from your local newspaper or TV book. You won't have to come back for seconds because you'll get them free the first time around. Little Caesars. A winner any way you slice it.
If you want variety, there's a family in for you. It's the winner to and see. Little Caesars Pizza, Little Caesars Pizza. A great tasty treat for you.
Get your Tiger's bumper sticker from your Marathon Man, a full-service dealer. Now available at your participating Marathon service station. No purchase necessary.
Well, the big right-hander Dennis Leonard, who throws the ball hard and has a good curve, but and occasionally will kind of pull the string on that curve, but generally is a power pitcher ready to face the Tigers. Leonard, in his career against Detroit, has won 4 and lost 3. 1-0 this year. He had no decisions against the Tigers a year ago. Ron LaFleur back in his leadoff spot against the right-handed starter, ready to lead it off for the Tigers. And here for the play-by-play is Ernie Harwell.
Thanks, Paul. LaFleur batting .265 now. 5 home runs, 23 runs batted in. The right-hander Leonard delivers. It's a strike call. We're underway in Kansas City. Leonard added a slider to his repertoire last year, made him an even better pitcher. He won 20 games. He delivers high and tight on the leadoff man, LaFleur. 1-1 the count on Ron. He'll be followed by Kemp, and then there'll be Rusty Staub here in the opening inning. Here it comes. He swings and misses on the Leonard fastball, a 1-2. A lot of sunshine left out here. It is 7:38 Kansas City time right now. The lights are on, and the sun is still shining. There's a ball high. 2-2 on LaFleur. Brett at third, Patek playing short, White at second, Wappen at first base. Cowens in right, Otis in center, Zeb in left, Porter catching. There's a swing, and he missed it. Leonard struck him out. LaFleur goes down swinging to start the game. Here's Steve Kemp. Steve hitting .298, 4 homers, 23 runs batted in. Steve and George Brett had a long visit before the ball game during batting practice. A couple of Californians talking over the situation. Outfield is around to right on Steve. They've got the third baseman, Brett, now wide of the bag and even with it. The other infielders are deeper. Leonard, the right-hander who grew up in the New York area, delivers a strike call. Dennis Leonard was born in Brooklyn. Later moved out to Long Island. Now they wind up in the pitch, and Kemp starts the bunt and takes the ball in close. 1-1 the count on him. Larry McCoy is the plate umpire tonight. Steve Palermo, the thin one, out at first base. John Denking is stationed at second, and Dave Phillips at third. The pitch is a curve over, and he took it for a strike. 1-2 the count. Staub waits on deck. Now Leonard checks his sign with Porter, pitches again. There's a bounding ball to White, big hop for him. Throw to Wappen at first base, and there are 2 down. Al Oliver came in here with the Texas Ball Club, and he told some of the media people that White took 8 hits away from him already this year. And White is a fantastic fielding second baseman. 2 down, nobody on. Here's Rusty at the plate. He's hitting .282, 9 home runs, and 44 runs batted in. Strike called on the left-hand hitting designated batter. Leonard has set down the first 2 to start the game. He pitches, and Rusty takes a slider that's in close, 1-1. Tigers move on to Minnesota. They'll have a weekend series. The game tonight between the Indians and the Twins in Minnesota rained out. There's a bounding ball to right, knocked down by Wappen, picked up by White, throw to first. He is out at first base. Wappen seems to be hurt wide at first base. There are 3 up and 3 down for the Tigers. And at the end of a half inning, Tigers nothing, the Royals coming to bat.
When I think of Canada, I think of backpacking in the Canadian Rockies, marveling at the giant Douglas firs, passing dozens of lakes that sparkled like diamonds, and finding the best beer I ever tasted.
Remember Labatt, the clear water blue sky taste of Canada beer.
And now the best beer Canada brews is here. So you don't have to go to Canada for Labatt's. It's imported for your special times. Labatt's, brewed in Canada and shipped fresh to you with pride. Labatt's, the clear water, blue sky taste of Canada beer.
When you think of Canada, think of the best.
The best beer I ever tasted.
The clear water, blue sky taste of Canada beer. Labatt.
Labatt Importers, Amherst, New York.
That big round of applause is for John Wappen, who made a great play, knocking that ball down. Then White picked it up and threw to Leonard's covering to get Rusty Staub with the third out. Wappen made a sensational play to knock that ball down, but he seemed to have hurt his shoulder. Whether he'll be able to continue or not, we don't know. Talking to Whitey Herzog before the game about Wappen, and he says he's a cornfield ball player. And he meant that as a compliment. He said he's the kind of a guy that he doesn't look very good out there, but he gets the job done. And he's played some good first base for me. Well, he made a good play on that one. And now Sykes goes to the mound to face the Kansas City team. As the Tigers went down 1-2-3 in their half of the first inning. We'll just have to wait and see whether Wappen is able to continue or not. Joe Zab will lead it off, the left fielder, right-hand batter. Bob Sykes on the mound for the Tigers. Sykes with a record of 3-3, getting ready to pitch to the right-hand batting outfielder, Zab, who's hitting .308. No home runs, 7 RBIs. But Joe, there's a ball high to him, ball 1. This is the 8th appearance for Sykes. They've all been in starting assignment. A chopper hit toward third. Rodriguez charges, now lets it go and a roll foul. No chance on that one to make a play. Rodriguez wisely let it go, and it's crossed over into foul territory. This is Sykes' second start in a row against KC. Last Saturday, he hooked up against Leonard. Royals beat Jack Morris eventually in that game 6-3. Sykes went 4 2/3 innings. One and one, they count on the leadoff man, Joe Zab. Meaning and waiting, here it comes. He takes the ball low. May is catching tonight for the Tigers. Rodriguez at third, Trammell at short. Whitaker at second and Thompson at first. There's a fly ball lifted to left field, fairly deep, but Kemp will have the room. He's back waiting. He has it, and there's one away. I didn't hear that report, Paul. Did you catch that on Wappen?
All they said was that he'd injured his left shoulder, and I tend to think it was his right shoulder that he injured, but there's no report, no information as to how serious it is.
Here's the designated batter, Hal McRae, hitting .272, 8 homers for Hal, and 31 runs batted in. The ballet student stepping in now, standing very deep in the batter's box. The outfield straight up on him. No score first inning. Here's a foul out of play. Gentleman from Omaha had that one in his hands and then booted it. Strike one, the count on McRae. Here comes. He takes the ball wide. 1-1, the count on him. After the game's over, the Tigers take their Ozark charter and move on to Minnesota for a weekend series with the Twins. Next pitch from Sykes is over, but it's low, and Mr. McCoy says the count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Kemp in left, LaFleur center, Stanley in right field tonight. He played right last evening. There's a fly out that way, but it'll drift in the seats foul. 2-2, the count on McRae. Sykes won his first 3 games this year, then lost his next 3. Line shot, base hit, left field. Kemp fields the ball in deep left. McRae makes a big turn and stops as he skids around the bag. Throw comes into Travel into Whitaker. And that is the first runner for either side. A man on first and 1 man down. Here comes George Brett. One-time batting champion, Brett hitting .311. George was out for 15 games, and during that span, Kansas City won 5 and lost 10. He says maybe it was good that he rested, and he got the idea he shouldn't go for the home run so much. There's a bounding ball wide of third, and into left field for a base hit. McRae going for third. The throw is into Rodriguez, and he is out at third base. Kemp to Rodriguez, trailing on the play. The batter, Brett, took second base. McRae cut down, trying to make it third on the left field single. That makes 2 down, a man on second, and the batter will be Amos Otis. That play will go the left fielder to the third baseman for the second out. Amos hitting .291, 9 home runs, and 35 RBIs. He's one man on this Kansas City club that can carry the team. He has power. He's a fine defensive ball player, and he runs well. Sykes is ready. Set. Holds it. Kicks and pitches. It is a ball outside. Ball 1 on Otis. Cowens is waiting on deck for Casey. No score first inning. Brett at second, 2 down. Otis looks at a curve from Sykes, and the count is 2-0. In that series in Minnesota, Dave Rozema gets back in the starting rotation. He'll pitch against Darrell Jackson, a newcomer, left-handed, on the Minnesota staff. That'll be Friday night. Then Saturday, Milt Wilcox against Dave Gold. There's the ball high and away, 3-0 on Otis. Sunday, Jim Slayton comes back, and we'll work against the left-hander Jeff Don. After that, the Tigers have an off day and conclude their trip in Toronto with a couple of games. 3-0 pitch to Amos. He takes the curve in for a strike call. 3-1. Now the stretch by Sykes. The 3-1 pitch is on the way. He takes the walk. Ball 4. Very wide with a fastball. That'll put 2 men on, 2 men out, and bring up Cowan. Well, when the Tigers get home, there'll be some gigantic doings at Tiger Stadium. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The New York Yankees are coming in for the first meeting this year between the Yankees and the Tigers. Thursday night will be Irish-American night. Friday night will be pitch hit and run division final. Saturday night game, American Legion night, and then Sunday autograph day and John Hiller recognition day. All against the Yanks. Here's a strike call. Sykes got his breaking ball over. Box seats are sold out for that 4-game series, but some reserve seats are left for the Thursday night, Saturday night, and Sunday afternoon games. Here's a stretch by Sykes. He pitches. Swing and a miss. He tried to punch the fastball to right field. Strike 2 the count. Now a hurdle is at the on-deck circle. Apparently, Watson will not be able to continue with that injured shoulder. Infield back now. 2 men on, 2 men out. No score first inning. Cowens waits on a strike 2 pitch. Swings. There's a line shot to Whitaker for the out, and the side retires. No runs, 2 hits and a walk, no errors, 2 are left. That is the end of 1. Royal Southern Tigers nothing.
There's a big M sign round the corner, down the road and up the street. And there's a friend of mine round that corner, someone you all know and someone you'll be glad to meet.
Somewhere near where you live, there's a big M sign that tells you this is someplace different. This is the working home of your marathon man. What that means to you is there's somebody there who still thinks wiping your windshield, checking the air in your tires, and the water in your battery a part of what you're supposed to get when you come into his station. That big M sign is a sign there's still a place to take your car and have it taken care of the way it's supposed to be. And that big M sign means it's a man worth knowing working under it.
Go get together with a friend who'll do it better. Go see your Marathon Man.
Marathon Oil Company. We got together to do it better.
This is Jim Garrett. Oakland County Juvenile Court is in need of foster homes for youngsters and especially teenagers. For information, call 858-0204.
Well, all of us here on the road with the Tigers want to send our deepest sympathy to Alex Callum of the Tigers, whose father, Walter, passed away. Our sympathy to the entire family. The funeral will be from St. John the Baptist Church in Amherstburg, Canada, on Saturday. Got a new first baseman now. Hurdle takes over for the injured Watson at first base for the Royals, and Jason Thompson steps in for the Tigers here. No score. We're in the second inning in Kansas City, Missouri. Denny Leonard pitching to Thompson, hitting .289, and the pitch is into close, ball one. Had a nice visit with Joe Geringer from Omaha, Nebraska. Joe has been a long-time Tiger fan, and he has come up from Omaha to see the action in the two games here. Here's the pitch, and it is a strike call. Mr. McCoy said so. 1-1 to count. Thompson with 15 home runs. He's driven in 38 runs. Leonard winds and pitches. Jason swings and misses. 1-2 to count. Good riffle of that one. Outfield is deep and around the right. We've still got some sunshine, especially out in the center field area and on the bank behind the playing field. Here's the motion, the 1-2 serve. He backs him off, 2-2 on Thompson. Leonard set the Tigers down 1-2-3 in the opening inning. Kansas City got a couple of hits on a walk, but couldn't score. Now Dennis is ready for action again. The pitch, swinging the bounding ball wide at first, base hit past Hurdle, fielded by the right fielder Cowens, and Thompson is the first Tiger runner of the evening. On with the leadoff single in the second inning. The game scoreless, and here's Milt May, hitting .286 with 7 homers and 21 RBI. After getting off to a sensational start at the bat. Outfield a little bit to right on him, almost straight up on Milt. Hurdle will hold on the bag with Thompson over there at first base. And Leonard checks his sign with Darrell Porter. Here's a foul to the screen. Hey, throw a baseball party for your group at Tiger Stadium. Keep your group together on the Simpson bus, and we'll provide Jason tickets for your group, too. Call SIMPTA Busball, 962-9800 for details. That's SIMPTA Busball, 962-9800. May holding the bat very high. Now takes the cut and fouls it near the plate. Porter is under it, right in the catcher's box, and makes the catch. Thompson stays at first. May fouls to his counterpart, Darrell Porter. That'll bring up Stanley, who had a home run last night, the first he's hit this year. Mickey's playing in right field again. Batting .227.
Got a report on John Wasson. He has been taken to the hospital. They now feel it is a dislocated shoulder, and it was his left shoulder.
Stanley not quite ready. Now steps into the batter's box against the right-hander Leonard. Then it'll be Whitaker and Rodriguez next. Here's a wide curve for a ball. Good stop by Porter. The ball broke down into the dirt from Leonard. Most of the Royals feel that they have not played very well so far this year. Despite that feeling, they are on top of their division. Nobody's really grabbed it over there in the West and ran with it. Here's the set now by Leonard. Stanley fouls it away just to the right of a booth. And the count on the 35-year-old veteran is 1 ball and 1 strike. Mickey will be 36 years old next month, July the 20th. And he's been with the Tigers since 1964 when he came up from Syracuse. takes a ball outside. 2-1 the count on Stanley. Mick has given the Tigers 15 years of the big league play. And I think one of the most popular players the Tigers have had over the recent years. Now steps in again to wait on a 2-1 delivery. Man on first, one man down, no score. Second inning in Kansas City. Swing and a miss. Leonard keeping that ball toward the outside. Hurdle holding on the bag at first with Jason Thompson. They've got White pulled over towards second on Stanley. Nicky swings at a bounding ball, hit down to short, knocked down by Potek. So the White one, relay to first, double play. A great play by Potek, a diving effort. He stopped the ball, then got up, flipped it over to White, who relayed to Hurdle for the double play. Listen to that crowd give Potek and White the ovation. And at the end of 1.5 innings, Tigers nothing, the Royals nothing.
I bought an economy car. Nice little car. Of course, I had to give up big car rides.
I just bought a smaller car, too. I gave up a lot of passengers. So with prices going up and up, I figure you got to give up.
Well, I didn't give up. I bought a new Plymouth Volare 4-door, and I didn't give up the things I want. I got the big car ride Frank gave up, the room for 6 Harry gave up, plus the compact economy they didn't give up. So why didn't they buy a Volare? I give up.
Don't compromise when you economize. Although your mileage may vary, the EPA rates a one-barrel, 6-cylinder Volare 4-door with manual transmission at 28 miles per gallon highway and 20 city. Don't give up. Get a Plymouth Volare.
For a great value on Plymouth Volare, see your Greater Detroit Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
Well, here's a young man in his first year in the major leagues. Hurdle at the plate, hitting .240 with a couple of home runs, 21 RBIs. Clint Hurdle, he's a left-hand batter. Strikes the Tiger left-hander, rocks and deals, and it is a ball down low on Hurdle, ball one. Won't be 21 years old next month. Hurdle takes a strike call, 1-1 the count on Clint. He got in 9 games last year, but spent most of the season at Omaha, where he batted .328. In too close on him, he backed away. 2-1 in the count on Hurdle. Played at Sarasota, Waterloo, Omaha, and Kansas City so far. Here's a strike call. Two the count. Here's the pitch, and it is a bounding ball to Whitaker. Good stop. Throw to first. Got him. And Hurdle is out. A good play by Lou Whitaker on the artificial turf, diving to his left. That little item in, I think, the Sporting News, quoting Danny Ozark of the Philadelphia Phillies, saying even Napoleon had his Watergate. Here's Porter stepping up now. 1 out and nobody on. Porter hitting .301. He has 6 homers and 23 runs batted in. No score in Kansas City. 2 hits for the Royals, 1 hit for the Tigers. We've seen some great defensive plays already. 3 of them in the infield already. And the game not 2 innings old yet. There's a cut and a miss.
Somebody tell Ozark that was a Lulu that he pulled
I imagine somebody told him something about it. Here's the pitch. It's a strike called. 2 strikes to count on Porter now. Wind up by Sykes. He pitches. It is a ball outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Merrill says he feels a lot more comfortable in this organization than he did in Milwaukee. There's a foul out of play. Let's pause for station identification. This is the Detroit Tiger baseball network.
J.P. McCarthy provides the go power for your morning drive here on WJR Detroit Radio 76.
Porter swings as they fly to center. LaFleur backing up as they reaches up and one-hands it near the warning track. That'll make it 2 down and bring to bat Freddie Patek.
Number 2, Fred Patek. First down.
Well, it was Fred who started that double play that ended the Tigers' second inning with a great dive to his left, taking a hit away from Stanley and then turning it into the double play. Inning 272, Patek, and he takes the ball high. Getting back in the lineup at the start of this week, Freddie, being out with that injured arm. Strike called as the strike nipped the outside corner. On the short right-hand hitter. 2 out, nobody on. Patek being played straight up by the outfielder. Swings and misses. That pitch was low. 1-2 the count on him. Chuck Hiller coaches down at third base with Steve Boris coaching over there first. He wanted to send special greetings to his dad up there at Flint. Here's the 1-2 pitch. It is outside, 2-2. .89 degrees when the game got underway. It was a lot hotter than that in the daytime. Here's the windup now and the 2-2 pitch. Very high, full count on Patek. Frank White is waiting on deck. Game is scoreless in Kansas City. Wind blowing out from the right field corner toward the left. Strike winds, delivers. It is a high one. Walking.
White.
2 down, and here's the number 9 hitter, Frank White, hitting .287, 3 home runs and 18 RBIs. Whitey Herzog considers White one of his best clutch hitters. Spreads out at the plate, right-hand batter. Homegrown product, swings and fouls it away. Will be in the seats over behind the KC dugout. Patek, always a threat on the bases, is edging off over there. Doesn't go. It's a pitch out, and nothing happens. 1-1. White getting back into the batter's box, waiting on the 1-1 delivery. He swings at the bounding ball up the middle. It'll be through for a hit. Patek turns at second, holds on. LaFleur picks up the ball, puts it back into Whitaker. That'll put 2 men on with 2 out and bring up the leadoff man, Joe Zeb. Joe had a fly ball to deep left that Kemp caught back in the first inning. Joe had a good year with Kansas City last year. Hit .297 his first year with them. Spent 6 years in the minors before he made it up here. There goes Patek, bounding ball to second base, hit. Patek rounding third, he'll score. Here comes White into third base on the hit-and-run single. And the Royals take a 1-0 lead. They sent the runners in. Whitaker went over to cover second base, and when he did, Zeb hit the ball right through the spot that Lou had vacated. Now the Royals get their 4th hit and their first run, and they lead 1-0. All this happening after the first 2 men had been retired. A walk to Patek, a single by White, and a single by Zeb. Hal McRae, who singled his first time at bat, is up again. Backs ready. Kicks and deals. Fly ball hit the right field. There goes Stanley to the glove side. He hauls it in over near the warning track in the corner, and the Royals are retired. But they get a run. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors. They leave a couple, and it's the end of 2. Kansas City 1, the Tigers nothing.
Well, I remember way back in 52, and those magic moments with Mary Lou, hanging out at the drive-in in my 57 Ford DA.
Hey, Rocky, I bet my Ford's better than your Ford. Oh, yeah? What do you got in that thing? Yeah, well, I got a new set of Champion Plus. Oh, well. Hey, listen, man, I just remembered I got to get my dovetail trimmed, right? Hey, Rocky, I bet my Pinto gets better mileage than your Pinto. Oh, yeah? Tell me, what do you got in that thing? Yeah, well, I got a new set of Champion Plus. Oh, wow. Hey, I got a split. I just remembered I got to get a hair transplant, right? Hey, times change, man.
Buy a better plug for any kind of car than Champion. You can't buy a better plug no matter where you are than Champion. Champion #1 in the world. #1 in your car.
Radio 76 salutes WJR's Director of Fine Arts, Carl Haas, recent recipient of Michigan State University's Distinguished Citizen Award. Congratulations, Carl.
The organist here just played Happy Birthday to Lance Parrish, celebrating number 22. We'd like to send best wishes also to Mr. Herschel Chamberlain, who lives near Vicksburg, Michigan, celebrating a birthday. And also to Della Ernest and her twin sister, Stella Long, celebrating their 93rd birthday in Lake Orion, Michigan. Long-time Tiger loyalist. Here's Lou Whitaker to try to get it going. He's hitting an even 300, no home runs, 9 RBIs, and takes the fastball outside. Ball 1. Royals 1 run, 4 hits. Tigers no runs and 1 hit. We're in the 3rd inning in Kansas City. Leonard winds and pitches. There's a strike on the outside corner. Whitaker, Rodriguez, and Trammell, the bottom 3 men in the batting order. Batting here in this inning. There's a strike. He got a fastball over, 1-2 on Lou. They're playing the outfield to left on Whitaker. Kansas City scoring after 2 are out last inning on a walk to Patek, singles by White and Zeb. Whitaker fouls one away in the seats back in left field. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here it comes. He swings and fouls it away. This one over near the Tiger dugout after it hit the facing of the upper deck and bounced down below. One nothing KC leading, 3rd inning. Tigers at bat. Whitaker leading it off against the right-hander Leonard. Here's the pitch. Another foul out of play. Same spot. Now Mark and Ralph Shields from Big Rapids out to see the Tigers in action and send their best to the folks back home. Also, Ken and Debbie Goodman, great Tiger fans, out here last night and again tonight. Leonard ready, winds, delivers, bounding ball hits toward second base. White has it, flips it over the hurdle, and Whitaker is the first out in the Tiger 3rd.
Batting 8, number 4, Aurelio Rodriguez.
Here's Rodriguez, the Tiger 3rd baseman, with a .295 average. Aurelio's hit 5 homers and has 18 runs batted in. Rosemo opens up that Minnesota series tomorrow night against the young left-hander brought up from Orlando, Darrell Jackson. It'll be the first of a 3-game set at the Twin Cities. Wilcox and Slayton will pitch the next 2 games against Goltz and Zahn. It is a ball in too close on Aurelio, ball 1. 1 hit for the Tigers, Thompson single, but was erased on a double play in the 2nd inning. 1-0, Royals lead it. He swings and fouls it away. This one on the screen right down below us. 1-1 on Rodriguez. Well, we're happy to see that John Hiller is going to be honored a week from Sunday. Recognition Day for John Hiller when the Yankees play in Tiger Stadium. Bounding ball wide of third. Glove there by Brady. Guns it over the hurdle in time. Rodriguez is out. That's 2 down. Remember when the Tigers had a presentation for their 10-year men in 1975? Jake Brown, Bill Freehand, Willie Horton, Mickey Lolich, and Mickey Stanley. Well, Hiller will receive a distinctive engraved clock like the ones presented to those gentlemen when they had their recognition. Here's Trammell at the plate, and he takes the ball in close from Leonard. Alan Trammell hitting .271, 10 RBIs. He's had 1 home run. Kansas City leading 1-0 over the Tigers. Foul back of the plate, off the screen. 1-1 the count on Allen. During that Yankee series, there's something happening every day. Irish-American night, pitch, hit, and run the next night. American Legion night, and then Sunday, John Hiller Recognition Day, and also Autograph Day. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swinging a bounding ball, deep shortstop. Patek way back, has it. Long throw to Hurdle. Not in time. Trammell beats it out. Patek caught the ball in left field and almost nipped Trammell. That is the second hit for the Tigers. Here's LaFleur, who struck out his first time at bat. All the outs achieved on the defense, Kansas City, within the infield except that strikeout by LaFleur. No outfield flies yet off Tiger bat. Strike, he took a slider over, strike 1. California leads Baltimore 5th inning 3-1. Oakland leading Boston 4th inning 3-1. Seattle, New York, 0-0 in the 4th inning at New York. Cleveland, Minnesota rained out. Texas and Chicago, no score there in the 2nd in Chicago. Kansas City goes on to play Chicago in Comiskey Park over the weekend. Strike swinging on LaFleur. Couldn't get the fastball. Man on first, 2 out. 1-0 Royals, 3rd inning. Tigers trying to get a rally generated here. Trammell edges off a little further over at first base. Hurdle holding on the bag with him. The pitch is cut on and missed. He strikes out again. LaFleur goes down swinging for the 2nd straight time. And it's no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left. We go to the last half, the 3rd. The Royals 1, the Tigers 0.
Well, the Tigers have announced some more signees out of the recent free agent draft. In the regular phase of the free agent draft held last week, their number 4 choice was the right-handed pitcher Jerry Uger out of the University of Minnesota. And he has been signed by Bill LaJoy, Director of Player Procurement for the Tigers. Uger will report to the Tigers' 2nd spring training camp now in progress in Bristol, Virginia. And they'll get that season underway in the Appalachian League on June 22nd. Uger was all Big Ten. He won 9 and lost 3 for the Gophers with an ERA of 2.15. Tigers have also signed their number 10 and number 16 picks in the regular phase. The number 10 choice, James Simmerling, a right-handed pitcher out of Chapman College in California. The number 16 choice, a left-handed pitcher, Dave Rucker from Laverne College, also in California. The Tigers have now come to terms with 21 of the 33 players they drafted last week.
Royals ahead, 1-0. They're batting in the 3rd against Sykes. Left-hand hitting third baseman George Brett steps in against Bob. And young Mr. Sykes kicks and deals as a bounding ball to second. Whitaker has a nice easy hop. Throw to Thompson. 1 pitch and 1 out in the Royal 3rd. Amos Otis, center fielder, steps up now. Amos walked his only trip.
The center fielder, Amos Otis.
Bob Sykes was selected 19th by the Tigers in the free agent draft of 1974. He's still only 23 years old. Brought him up this year, you remember, from Evansville, where he had a 4-0 record. Otis fouls off the first pitch to him. It's got the mask of Milt May. Strike 1 on Amos. 1-0, the Royals lead it. Sykes got his start at Bristol in '74, had a great first year. There's a ball low, 1-1. That first year at Bristol, he was 11-0. He had 6 shutouts. He had an earned run average of 1.07. Made it to the Tigers in 77. First year with him. There's a high fly ball lifted to deep right field. Stanley going back, may not have room. He can't get it. It's a home run. Stanley hit the wall, falls on the warning track, but he's on his feet. He's all right. And Otis has hit another home run. That is 10 for him. And it is a 2-0 lead now for KC. He went to the opposite field, and he went with power. Hit that ball about 395 feet. Stanley tried to crawl up on the fence and did his best, but he just couldn't reach it.
Mickey looked like the human fly out there going up the wall, but it was still above the glove.
Here's Al Cowens. He lined to Whitaker his first time. Takes a curve in too close from Sykes. Ball 1. Royals 2, Tigers nothing. Third inning in KC. There's a fly ball at the straightaway center. LaFleur will have room on this one. He's back deep and makes the catch for the out. That's 2 down. And we'll bring to bat the youngster playing first base, Clint Hurdle, who came in subbing for the injured starting first baseman, John Watson. Clint has batted 1 time, and he bounced out to the second baseman, Whitaker. There's a ball low. Hurdle having a little bit of trouble with big league pitching. They may want to send him back to Omaha and let him get some playing experience every day down there. Here's the 1-0 delivery. He takes a strike on the outside corner, 1-1. Strikes, winds, and pitches. Hurdle hits a bounding ball deep first. Thompson has it. Race for the bag. Now he throws to first, not in time. His strike didn't get over quickly enough. Thompson looked as if he was going to make the play himself. Sykes came a little bit late. Then Jason decided to throw the ball to him. And by the time he got there, it was too late, and Hurdle has a single. Third straight inning in which the Royals have picked up 2 hits. Little hesitation cost the Tigers. Here's Darrell Porter. Total of 6 hits off Sykes. Porter's not quite ready. He steps in again. Sykes to the stretch, looks over to first base, delivers. It is a ball outside on Darrell. Jack Morris has started to heat up in the Tiger bullpen, the right-hander. 2 runs, 6 hits for the Royals. Tigers, no runs and 2 hits. It's the last half of the third. Porter swings a chopper hit toward Whitaker. He charges and throws to first in time for the out. That retires the side. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, 1 man left. At the end of 3, Royals 2, Tigers nothing.
No charge checking. Other banks make it tougher. City National makes it easier. Now, while other banks are increasing the minimum savings balance you need for no charge checking, CNB lowers it with combo checking.
Nobody has got what City National Bank has got.
That's right. Some banks are raising the minimum savings requirement to a whopping $500, but CNB lowers it to $200. A $200 minimum balance in savings or a $200 minimum balance in your checking account, and you check without charge. $200 in savings or $200 in checking, and you write all the checks you want without charge. All your checks without charge. Other banks make no charge checking tougher. Combo checking makes it easier.
Who's got it? Nobody. A City National Bank.
Member FDIC.
The weather-wise know what's coming and why, and the WJR Weather Center is the reason. I'm Mal Fillers. Join us every day on WJR Radio 76.
The Royals have the lead here, 2-0 over the Tigers, getting a run in the second inning with 2 out. On a walk to Potek, a single by White and a single by Zeb, adding another run off Bob Sykes in the third on the bases empty home run by Amos Otis. The Tigers, meanwhile, picking up a couple of singles by Thompson and Trammell off the Kansas City starter Leonard, but they've been unable to push anybody across the plate. So we move along to the fourth inning. Let's enjoy hearing now from Paul Carey.
Thanks, Ernie. Here's Steve Kemp, the leader off for Detroit in the fourth inning. Steve up once against Leonard, bounced out to second. Kemp homered off Leonard last Saturday in Detroit. Tigers have the two singles by Thompson and Trammell. Here's the lineup of the first pitch of the inning. It's a ball high and inside to Steve. Kemp hitting .296, 4 home runs, 23 RBIs. The pitch to him. Ball 2 inside to Steve. Leonard getting the sign from Porter. Here's the pitch. Ball 3, jammed him around the wrist. Now, Porter's called time and puts the ball out to Leonard and then follows the ball out to have a conference with his pitcher. Kemp has now walked 51 times this season. The next Tiger in terms of bases on balls, Rusty Staub with 25 walks. 3-0 count on Steve. The pitch. Ball 4, he draws walk number 52. That's the first base on balls given up by Leonard. And here's Rusty. Rusty robbed of a hit in the first inning when John Walton, the starting first baseman, dove to knock his ball down. It bounced right over to Frank White, who threw to the pitcher Leonard covering for the put on Rusty. But it was hit like a shot. Here's the set. The pitch to Staub. Strike called on Staub. Larry McCoy calling the balls and strikes tonight. Kemp has a conservative lead at first base and draws the throw over there, kind of a lob toss to Hurdle. Rusty hitting .281. Leonard ready, delivers outside with a fast one. Leonard throws hard. He's got that good fastball plus the hard slider. Hard curve. Once in a while will change. With low for a ball. 2 balls and a strike on Staub. Nobody out. Kemp at first base here in the top of the fourth inning. The Royals with runs in the second and third lead it 2-0. Oakland ahead of Boston 3-1 in the top of the fifth inning at Fenway Park tonight. The Yankees in the bottom of the fifth, scoreless against Seattle. And California leads Baltimore in the top of the sixth inning 3-1. Chicago ahead of Texas 1-0 in the bottom of the third inning. There's a ball outside to stop 3-1. So the plate seems to be swimming a little bit on Dennis Leonard here. Time called. Frank White, the second baseman, heads in to have a chat with Leonard. Another warm day, even warmer today than it was yesterday in Kansas City. And we've got that same warm wind blowing in from the right field corner. Not as strongly tonight, apparently, as it was last night. Now White has resumed his position out at second. Kemp at first. The 3-1 pitch. Swung on. Line shot to center field. A base hit. That low bridge Leonard, and Kemp will have to hold at second base. Otis up with the ball very quickly. That got out to him in a hurry. So the Tigers, for the first time in the ball game, have 2 men on in the same inning. Kemp at second, Staub at first, nobody out, and it'll be Jason Thompson stepping in. Thompson with a solid single to right, his first time up. They'll overshift on Jason again as Potek swings around toward second. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. That one up around the shoulders to Thompson. He tried to get out there and pound it to deep right. Infield laying back. Here's the set, the pitch. strike. He clipped the outside corner. He went low on him that time. Got one around the knees. Thompson out of the batter's box for the moment. 2 strikes on Jason. Camp at second, Staub at first. Now Leonard taking a little more time. The look to second. Here's the pitch. A ball low. Thompson hitting .292. Now the conference now between the mound and the plate between Porter and Leonard. Had rain at Bloomington, Minnesota, and that game between the Indians and the Twins tonight has been postponed because of rain. The Tigers are headed to Minnesota tomorrow, and there's a forecast of thundershower activity and remaining in the Minneapolis area through the day tomorrow. Here's the pitch. Just outside, the ball pops out of the mid of Porter, but not far enough for any advance. Count even now, 2 balls and 2 strikes on Thompson. And Leonard turns his back on the plate, looks to the outfield. Still a lot of daylight left here in Kansas City. The eastern outskirts of Kansas City. Here's the set. The 2-2 pitch. All 3 jammed in. Now Dick Trzeski, the Tiger first base coach, out to have a word with Rusty at first. Kemp edging away from the bag at second. Full count now on Thompson. Nobody out. The pitch to Jason. Swung on and bounced foul down the first base line. Let's pause for station identification. This is the Detroit Tiger Baseball Network.
You're listening to Detroit Tiger Baseball on the great voice of the Great Lakes, WJR Detroit, Radio 76.
Ready to go again. The Royals have Andy Hassler listening in the bullpen. 3-2 count on Thompson. The pitch to Jason. Strike call. He struck him out. Thompson took a step back as though he was going to fling the bat away and head to first. He took it across the letters for a strike. The big K goes up on the huge scoreboard in center field. 1 down. Runner still at first and second. And the batter will be Milt May. That's the 3rd strikeout for Leonard. May popped a foul to his counterpart, Porter, in the 2nd inning. Milt hitting .283. Bat stuck straight up in the air. The pitch on the inside corner for a called strike. The look to second by Leonard. Here's the pitch coming to Milt May. High and wide. 1-1 on Milt. Again, they're staying about the same spot from May, both in the infield and the outfield, as they played Thompson. Leonard set. The 1-1 pitch. Ground ball to the right side. Pass Turtle into right field. A base hit. Here comes Kemp rounding third. Collins up with the ball. The throw to the plate, not in time. Stops at second. The Tigers get a run in and cuts the Royals' lead to 2-1. A solid ground single to right by Milt May drives in the first run of the game for Detroit.
The right fielder, Mickey Stanley.
And with runners at first and second and 1 down, Mickey Stanley will be the batter. Mickey robbed of a base hit on a great play by Freddie Patek in the 2nd inning, who then turned it into a double play. Ground ball headed for center field. Patek threw his body in front of it, stopped it, flipped to White, who then returned the throw to first for a double play. Well, the Tigers have runners at first and second with 1 down here in the 4th. Stanley hitting .217. The pitch from Leonard bends him back from the plate. Last night, Mickey collected his first home run of the season. Drove it into the bleachers down the left field line. Paul Splithoff, who admitted afterwards he should never give Mickey Stanley a high inside fastball. Here's the set, the pitch. There's a looper that'll drop into center field, a base hit. Here comes Staub, headed home. The throw from Otis, not in time. Knocked down by Hurdle, but it gets through all the way to the plate. And stopping at second is Milt May. The Tigers have tied the game with a pair of runs here in the fourth inning. A looping single to center by Mickey Stanley, driving in a Detroit run. Runners at first and second with one down, and Galen Cisco, the pitching coach of the Royals, walking slowly out of the dugout toward the mound. They've got the left-hander Hassler at work out there. Lou Whitaker is the next scheduled Tiger batter. May is at second, Stanley at first. Conference still going on the mound. And plate umpire Larry McCoy wants to go out and break things up. They've got another fine turnout here at Royal Stadium tonight, over 21,000 last night. That's below their average, though. They've been averaging 26,350 a ball game. And that is over 178,000 more total than for the same number of dates a year ago. They have the top average attendance in the American League. Now ready to go again. Runners at first and second, one down. The pitch to Whitaker. High and wide, ball one on Lou. Lou grounded out to second his first time up. Whitaker hitting .298. The look to second by Leonard. Here's the pitch. Swung on a ground ball to Patek. He goes to fight for one. The relay to first, not in time. Whitaker's speed prevented the double play that time as May took third. It'll go as a simple force out of Stanley at second base. Runners now at first and third with two down. And the batter will be Rodriguez. Aurelio bounced out to third. His only time up against Leonard in this game. May at third, Whitaker at first. Tigers have scored twice to tie at 2-2 here in the fourth inning. The pitch to Aurelio, way outside. Aurelio seeing action as a starter against a right-hander for a change here tonight. You have to check the temptation. That's where they like to pitch Rodriguez. Outside, here's the set by Leonard. And the pitch. Swung on and missed. And he pitched him outside that time. One ball, one strike on Rodriguez. Whitaker has a big lead at first. Hurdle still hanging on the bag there, trying to keep Lou close. And Leonard takes a little longer. Now into the stretch. Here's the pitch. It's a pitch out, but Lou isn't moving. 2 balls and a strike now on Rodriguez. They were very suspicious. Lou had 1 foot in the sliding box and 1 out on the artificial turf. For a big lead. Now he gets out there again. He draws the throw and just barely gets back. Hassler continuing to work in the bullpen for Kansas City. 2-1 count on Rodriguez. Leonard ready. Delivers. Swung on a hopper to third. Brett waits for the hop. The throw across the diamond in time. Rodriguez is out, and that's all for the Tigers in the fourth inning. But the Tigers score a pair. 2 runs on 3 hits and a walk. No errors. They leave 2. After 3.5 innings, it's now a tie ball game. The Tigers 2, the Royals 2.
There's a big M sign round the corner, down the road and up the street. And there's a friend of mine round that corner, someone you all know and someone you'd be glad to meet.
You know, there's a special additive at your nearby Marathon station. Something that can add value to your life and the life of your car. Something you can get only at your Marathon station. What it is your Marathon Man. Because your Marathon Man is somebody who believes it's not old-fashioned to give people what they pay for, plus a little bit more. He's there to do it better, and do it the way he'd want it done if he were you. If you don't already know him, well, you really ought to.
Go get together with a friend who'll do it better. Go see your Marathon Man.
got together to do it better.
Well, the Tigers have come up with a couple of runs, putting together some key hits in the fourth inning after Kemp and Staub had reached on a walk and a single. A one-out single by Milt May drives in one run, and then Mickey Stanley follows with a single to center. And it's all tied up at 2-2. The Tigers with 5 hits, the Royals with 6. Bob Sykes on the mound, ready to face Freddie Patek as the Royals come to bat here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Patek walked his first time and scored a run for Kansas City. He takes a strike. The lineup by Sykes. The left-hander delivers low. Ball 1, strike 1. Patek will be followed by White and Zeb in the Royals' fourth inning. Freddie deep in the batter's box. Looks at a high one. Patek, like Collins and Otis, kind of lays the bat back over his shoulder. Seems to be a trend with these Kansas City batters. Instead of cocking it up high or back, he drops it over the shoulder. Here's the pitch. Swung on and fouled off plate umpire Larry McCoy. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Patek. Tigers move on to Minnesota after this game tonight for a 3-game set with the Twins, weather permitting. A night game tomorrow, day game Saturday and Sunday. And then we'll move to Toronto for games next Tuesday and Wednesday, coming home to meet the Yankees in that big 4-game series a week from tonight. There's a hard smash to deep short, knocked down by Trammell. He can't pick it up. Patek is safe at first. So we'll wait for the scorer's decision. It'll be an error on Trammell. Yep. Patek is safe on the error charged to Alan Trammell. The ball was hit very sharply. It's a deep short, but Trammell had a play, and he simply dropped the ball first, and then in trying to pick it up with his bare hand, did not find the handle, and didn't even bother to throw at that time. That'll bring up Frank White. White single to center, his first time up. Patek stirs things up on the base paths. He's out there with a big lead and draws a throw and had to dive back in. He almost was caught leaning too much towards second. Looked like he was about to go. Now time is called. Patek is out brushing his uniform off and listening to some words of advice from Steve Forrest. It was Patek's aggressive base running that got them going last night, moving from first to third in a wild pitch. And he draws another throw over there. And in the second inning of this ball game, he had walked with 2 outs, moved to second on the single, and then a double steal, or the hit and run, whatever you want to call it. Zeb followed with a single and drove him home. There's a swing and a miss by White. Sykes has walked 2. And allowed 2 hits in each of the first 3 innings. Here's the set, the pitch. Swung on, line shot down the left field line. That's going to head to the corner. It'll have to be played off the wall. Kemp has it. Rounding third. Heading home is Patek. Here's the throw. Not in time. Cut off by Rodriguez. A 2-base hit. And the Royals lead it 3-2. A double into the left field corner by Frank White scores Patek all the way from first base. And the Royals don't stay tied very long. They break it to move in front 3-2, and Ralph Houk has walked out to the mound. He's about to make a change. The gate is opened in left field. I think it'll be Jack Morris. Let me check. Morris? Yeah. Yeah, Morris had been warming earlier in the game, and it will be Morris coming out of the bullpen for Detroit. Sykes was not fooling him here tonight. He did pitch well against Kansas City last Saturday in Detroit, but got nicked for a couple of runs and came out quickly in the 5th inning of that ball game. But tonight, he gave up 2 hits in each of the first 3 innings, 1 here in the 4th, an extra base hit, the double by Frank White. And the Royals with a runner at second and nobody out in the 4th inning with a 1-run lead. Ralph Houk is not going to let the game get any further away from the Tigers at this point, so he's going to call in Jack Morris. Ernie?
Well, I got a case of history repeating itself a little bit here. Sykes went 4 2/3 last Saturday when he was pitching against Leonard, and then Morris came in to relieve him. And the Royals eventually won that game by a score of 6-3. So here comes Morris in to try to do it again, this time in Kansas City instead of at Tiger Stadium in Detroit. Let's check the other scores now. We told you earlier that Cleveland and Minnesota were rained out in Minnesota. They're expecting more rain for the weekend. That's where the Tigers are headed tonight. Chicago has a 1-0 lead over Texas in the fourth inning. Ron Bloomberg hit a home run in the second with nobody on for the White Sox. That's his fourth. Medich against Stone. Seattle and the Yankees are in the sixth inning, and they're scoreless. The Yankees are batting in the sixth. Mitchell against Gullett in that pitching duo. And California has a 3-1 lead over Baltimore in the seventh. Tanana against McGregor. Dower and Hampton had hit home runs for their respective teams, Baltimore and California, in that game. Each home run coming with nobody on. Number 3 for Dower, number 1 for Hampton. Oakland picked up 3 in the fourth inning. They lead the Boston Red Sox 3-1 in the sixth. Renko against Torres in that game at Boston. And in the National League, New York at Los Angeles, a late starter out there on the West Coast. The other two daytime games, and San Francisco beat the Phillies today 6-1. Montefusco, the winner in that one. Cott took the loss in the starting role. San Diego and Montreal played at San Diego today, and Montreal edged the Padres 3-1. Home run by Valentine in the second inning with nobody on, number 8 for him. Grimsley won his 11th game in that one. He's 11-3. Shirley, the starter and loser for San Diego, he's 3-8. Well, the Royals have retaken the lead, 3-2. Morris takes over, and let's go back to Paul Carey.
Okay, Ernie, thank you. It'll be Joe Zebb, the right-hand hitting left fielder, leading it off against Jack Morris here. White at second with nobody down. The Royals in front 3-2. Morris has won 1 and lost 2. He looks to second, holds and delivers. A little high, ball 1. Sykes went just 3 complete innings and worked to 2 men in the fourth. He has given up 3 runs, 2 of them earned. This run here in the fourth inning unearned because Patek reached on an error. Bob allowed 7 hits. The runner goes. It's swung on and missed. The throw to third. He flies safe in third. Well, Frank White steals third. It'll be the 8th stolen base of the year for Frank White. Play not really too close at third base, as White got an excellent jump on Morris. Count of 1-1 on Zebb. He helped White by taking a cut at that pitch, which was up high. Now the Tigers playing in a little bit on the corners. Here's a pitch to Zebb. He takes the strike. 1-2 on Joe. His last name is spelled Z-D-E-B, but forget the D. It's pronounced Zebb. The look to third by Morris, the pitch. Low, 2-2 now. Some paper blowing around on the field, and every once in a while some of the attendants, the young bat boys, jog out there and pick up the paper. Another windy evening. Here's the pitch. Check swing, and they appeal, but he checked in time. Steve Palermo, the first base umpire, supporting Larry McCoy, who doesn't have as good a look at it as they have down the line. Now they stretch. The pitch is swung on and missed. He struck him out. Now Morris gets the first man he faces on strikes. And it'll bring up Hal McRae, who has singled it up and flied deep to right. White at third with 1 down. The pitch to McRae, swung on, fly ball, lifted to left center field, fairly deep. LaFleur is back there. White is tagged. Here's the catch, and White trots on in home. No play at the plate at all. And the Royals add another run here in the fourth inning to go ahead 4-2. A sacrifice fly for McRae, who has now driven in 32 runs this year. Base is empty now, but 2 runs are in. With 2 out, and George Brett will be the batter. Brett is 1 for 2. He singled in the first inning, bounced out the second and the third. The pitch to Brett. There's a slow one that comes in low. Ball 1. He takes ball 2. Brett has now hit safely in 11 straight games. Time called. Brett out of the batter's box. Tigers overshift to the right on Brett, but he'll go to all fields. The pitch to him. High and wide. 3-0 on Brett.
Right, 3 and 2 for 3 innings plus 2.
Oh, the pitch from Jack Morris. Swung on, a bouncer to right field, a base hit. He swung away at the 3-0 pitch. And Brett is on with a 2-out single, his second of the ball game. Both runs in this inning have been charged for the starting pitcher's sight, so his record is complete now, having given up 4 runs, 3 of them earned. The batter now, Amos Otis, who has walked and hit his 10th home run of the season over the wall in right center field. And he'll take time getting into the batter's box. Royals have 4 runs on 8 hits. The Tigers 2 runs, 5 hits. Here's the set by Morris. Brett goes. The pitch taken. The throw by May is going to be through into center field. Brett picks himself up, heads for third, and he makes it easily. That ball may have deflected off Jack Morris, who got down a little too late. The throw by May low bridged him, and I think it flicked Morris's uniform and deflected a little bit so that it made it very difficult for Whitaker to handle down at second base. Skipped on past him into center field. It'll be an error to Milt May and a stolen base for George Brett. That's the second Tiger error in this inning, and the Royals have a man at third again with 2 down. A 1-strike count on Otis. The pitch taken for a strike by Otis. Set by Jack. Here's the pitch. He just missed outside. 1-1. Morris waiting on Otis. Licks to third. The pitch to Amos. Swung on. There's a line drive caught by Whitaker. And that retires the side. But the Royals break the tie very quickly and come up with 2 runs on 2 hits. There were 2 Tiger errors. 1 man left after 4 innings of play. It's now Kansas City 4, Detroit 2.
If you haven't read the new AM edition of the news, you just don't know what you're missing. Exclusive new columns like Where the Action Is. It's an early look at the stock market, betting odds, even lottery numbers. You're missing eye-openers with Margie Coombs and her views on all the latest trends. Plus the comment page with the timely observations of people like Pete Waldmeyer, Nicholas von Hoffman, and Bill Malden. The new AM News at newsstands at 6:30 every morning. It's the first good news of the day.
Reading the Detroit News AM edition can make you smarter. And from now until June 30th, richer. With a new game called Joker Poker. You play it like poker, with cards that appear Monday through Friday in the AM edition of the News. 2 of a kind could win you $50. A Royal Flush, $5,000. Joker Poker. No purchase necessary. Rules and entries available through the Detroit News or in the new AM edition. Like they say, it's the first good news of the day. Only now, it's even more so.
Did you know that tennis was banned in the 13th century because too many monks were playing the game in their underwear? It still wasn't a good spectator sport. I'm Frank Beckman, WJR Sports.
The Royals with a 4-2 lead as the Tigers come to bat here in the 5th inning. Alan Trammell will lead it off. Ernie and I would like to pass along our congratulations and a Tiger salute to Leona and Gordon Snyder, who are celebrating their 60th wedding anniversary on this date. Congratulations to the Snyders. Mr. Snyder recalls the days of Ty Cobb with the Tigers. The first pitch to Trammell is swung on. There's a line drive to left. Zeb holds back. It bounces through his legs. He picks it up. No, he knocked it down, and holding it first is Trammell. Well, there's a case where Zepp might have had to catch a chance to catch that ball before it landed, but he decided to put the brakes on and then kind of jumped back. And if he hadn't, he might have had trouble handling it. Might have gone all the way to the wall. It bounced off his leg and stayed right at his feet, so Trammell could not advance any further. A leadoff single for Allen, his second straight. And here's Ron LaFleur, who's had trouble with Leonard tonight. He cuts and fouls this one behind the plate. Ron leaning a little bit on that. He has struck out twice as he gets back into that leadoff spot against the right-hander. Set by Leonard. The pitch to LaFleur. Strike called. A good pitch. It was on the outside part of the plate around the knees. So Leonard is quickly ahead of LaFleur again with a 2-strike count. The set by Leonard. He delivers. Ground ball to short. Paddock in the hole. Goes to second for one. No relay as LaFleur is safe at first. It'll be a force of Trammell at second. One down, a runner at first, and the batter is Steve Kemp. Well, the Tigers announced more signings today. Number 4, number 10, number 16. The Tigers have now signed 21 of the 33 players they drafted in the 2 phases of the summer draft last week. Well, the Royals came out with some announcement of signings today, too, including a couple of players with area backgrounds back in our Tiger listening audience area. James Davison, an outfielder out of Bay City and Alma College, signed by the Royals. He was the 13th round pick. Bill Lasky, the fine pitcher from Toledo and Kent State University. Throw to first, driving LaFleur back to the bag. Lasky was a second round pick in the secondary phase, and he has signed with the Royals. Another throw to first. And LaFleur is back. Still no pitches to Kemp. Steve has grounded out to second and walked. He scored a run in the 4th inning. Here's the pitch to Steve. He swings, lifts a pop fly to left field to Patek. Backing out, so is Brett. Patek behind him makes the catch. And LaFleur playing it halfway has to return to first. So there are 2 down, and it's up to Rusty Staub here in the 5th inning.
Designated hitter, Rusty Staub.
Staub has grounded out and singled to center. Rusty hitting .284, 9 home runs, 44 runs batted in, up among the leaders in RBIs. White had asked for time. He'd gone over to talk to Patek for a while. Baltimore trailing California still 3-1 in the bottom of the 7th inning in Baltimore. The Orioles have won 13 in a row. Here's the sentinel. Leonard steps off the slab and bluffs LaFleur back to the bag. Oakland ahead of Boston by that same score, 3-1, in the top of the 7th inning at Fenway. The Yankees lead Seattle 2-0 in the top of the 7th inning in New York. Throw to first, and LaFleur gets back. Boy, it's ironic. I don't know what the odds are against it. Leon Roberts has hit home runs in the top of the 10th inning in the last 2 ball games for Seattle to break a tie, and each time the opponents rallied to win. That was close at first. The throw over there, LaFleur got back, though. Chicago White Sox are really hot these days, and they lead Texas tonight 2-0 in the top of the 5th inning at Comiskey. White Sox have won 16 of their last 18 games. Here's the pitch to Staub. He takes it low, ball 1. Now LaFleur edges away a little further. The pitch to Rusty. He swings. There's a base hit to right field on the ground. LaFleur takes a look. He'll head for third. Collins up with the ball. Fires it into the middle of the diamond. Runners at first and third with 2 down here in the Tiger 5th inning as Staub picks up his second straight single. And it will bring up Jason Thompson. Well, the Tigers have a total of 7 hits, and they've all been singles. Royals Royals, of their 8 hits, have 2 extra base hits, a home run by Otis and a double by White. Thompson is 1 for 2. Jason singled in the second inning, then took a called third strike in the fourth. White is playing a short right field right now, the second baseman. The pitch to Jason is up high. He has got to be, I'll say, 20 feet. Well, maybe not that much, but he's quite a bit back of what would normally be the infield if there were such a thing here in Kansas City. Hotek is almost straight behind second base. There's a swing and a fly ball to center field. Otis to his right. He's still racing, and he makes the catch as Zeb hits the ground and avoids a collision. Zeb at the last moment veered away and rolled on the turf as Otis stuck the glove up in front of him to make the catch. And that retires the Tigers in the 5th. No runs, a couple of hits, no errors. They leave a pair, and after 4.5 innings, it's Kansas City 4, Detroit 2.
An open line to whatever's on your mind. Warren Pierce, evenings from 7 till 10, here on WJR Radio 76.
Before the Royals bat in their half of the 5th inning, let's pause for station identification. This is the Detroit Tiger Baseball Network.
This is your power station for sports, WJR Detroit Radio 76, a service of Capital Cities Communications.
And all Tiger fans are looking forward to that series with the Yankees when the Tigers come off this road trip beginning a week from tonight. It'll be Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday afternoon, and all box seats for the series have been sold. General admission seats only are now on sale for that Friday night game on a reserved basis at $3.50 apiece. Bleacher seats will be sold in advance if the general admission seats are all exhausted. There's a fly ball to right field by Al Cowan. Racing out is Whitaker, coming on is Stanley. Stanley makes the catch, and at the last second avoids a collision with Jason Thompson, who was kind of trailing on the play. A 1 pitch, 1 out here in the Royals' 5th inning. That'll bring up Clint Hurdle. Hurdle up twice, 1 for 2. He didn't start the ball game. John Watson started at first base but suffered a dislocated shoulder. Hurdle taking over. The pitch to Hurdle is a little too close. Ball 1. Now Morris winds, delivers a strike. For the night games of Thursday, June 22nd, and the Saturday night, June 24th, and the afternoon game Sunday, June 25th, some reserved seats are still available for that Yankee series. There's strike 2 called on Clint Hurdle. 4-2, the Royals lead the Tigers. Morris relieving Bob Sykes in the 4th inning. Just missed inside with that one. Incidentally, I'd like to amend what I'd said earlier on the record of Sykes. He gave up 4 runs, but only 2 of them were earned. Both the runs in the 4th inning unearned. High and wide, it's a full count now on Clint Hurdle. 1 out, nobody on here in the bottom of the 5th inning at beautiful Royal Stadium in Kansas City. The pitch fouled back on the screen. Count remains full on Hurdle. The pitch to Clint. Swung on a bounce to the right side into right field, a base hit. Hurdle picks up his 2nd straight single. And there's some folks from his one-time home area, Big Rapids, on hand here at the ball game tonight. Although Clint was only in the Big Rapids area a couple of weeks, he's got a lot of relatives still there. And some folks down from Harrison, Michigan here tonight, too. Here's Darrell Porter. 0 for 2 for the Royals catcher. Hurdle at first, 1 away in the last of the 5th inning. The look to first by Morris. Here's the pitch. It's a called strike on Porter. Before shades Porter over toward right field. Infield in double play depth, about straight up. Strike called. Two quick ones over on Darrell. Now Hurdle gets his lead at first. The pitch from Morris, fouled out of play, back into the upper deck behind the plate. Now they stretch by Morris, and the pitch. Just outside. Porter was tempted, but he held off. 1-2 on him. Ex-Tiger coach Joe Schultz in the area. Doing acquaintances with some of his former teammates during the day today. Now the pitch. Swung on. Base hit to right field. Hurdle around second and holds as Stanley fires it into the middle of the diamond. Runners at first and second on back-to-back singles by Hurdle and Porter. And that'll bring up Patek, who has been on twice with a walk and an error and has scored both times. The little guy makes things happen. He's an exception to the rule that if you got short legs, you don't run very fast, no matter how fast you pump it, because he still gets places awfully quickly, despite his 5'4" stature. Smallest man in the major leagues. The pitch to Freddie. He takes a strike. Now Seattle's gotten a run at New York in the bottom of the seventh inning. The Yankees lead 2-1 now. A look to second by Morris. The pitch to Patek. Slow ball. He hits to deep short. Trammell goes to second for one. The relay to first. Not in time. Patek's speed prevented the double play. There'll be runners at first and third and 2 down. Force at second on Porter. And the batter will be Frank White. And White has a perfect night with a single and a run-scoring double. And he's been showing again in this series why he won the Gold Glove at second base last year. Hurdle at third to Patek at first. Morris concerned about Patek, and he goes. The pitch is swung on and missed. The throw by May. He is safe at second. No advance at third by Hurdle. A stolen base for Patek. That'll be his 14th of the year.
Number 14.
So runners at second and third with 2 down. Patek removing the force by moving up to second. White having a solid year at the plate, hitting .295 at the moment. A stretch by Morris. Here's the one-strike pitch. Strike called. Morris checks the runners. The pitch to White. Way outside. May had that glove as a target way outside the plate. Morris hit it, but White laid off. 1-2 on Frank. Tigers are going to see a rookie for the first time, Darrell Jackson, tomorrow at Minnesota. There's a check swing looper over the mound. Deep at second. Trammell has it to throw. He just got him at first, and that retires the Royals in the 5th inning. No runs despite 2 hits, no errors. 2 left after 5 innings of play. Royals 4, the Tigers 2.
Put on your thinking caps, fans. It's time for the Labatt's Baseball Trivia Quiz. All set? You probably remember Joe DiMaggio's 56-game hitting streak. But do you know who holds the consecutive game hitting record for switch hitters? Try to remember. And while you do, here's something else to remember.
Remember Labatt. The clean water, blue sky, taste of Canada beer. Labatt.
Yes, fans, the best beer Canada brews is here. Labatt's. It's imported for your special time, shipped fresh to you with pride. Labatt's, the Clearwater Blue Sky Taste of Canada beer. Brewed in Canada since 1828. Okay, now, in 1954, Al Schoendienst for the St. Louis Cardinals hit safely in 28 straight games. That's the major league mark for switch hitters, exactly half as long as DiMaggio's famous streak. Did you remember that? Then you've got your own streak underway in the Labatt's Baseball Trivia Quiz, brought to you by Labatt Importers, Amherst, New York.
This game is being brought to you by Labatt's. For beer at its finest, call for Labatt's. By Marathon dealers and distributors, people who've got together to do it better. By the Greater Detroit Chrysler Plymouth dealers who've got Horizon, Motor Trend's Car of the Year. By Champion Spark Plugs. You can't buy a better plug than Champion. By the Detroit News. For the first good news in sports every morning, read the new Detroit News AM edition. By City National Bank, where you can get combo checking. And by Little Caesars Pizza, a winner any way you slice it. Now, more Tiger baseball action with Ernie Harwell and Paul Carey.
Here's Milt May to lead off the sixth inning for the Tigers. Milt, 1 for 2, drove in a run for Detroit in the fourth inning. 4-2, the Royals lead it. The pitch to Milt is taken a little high. For ball one, Dennis Leonard has gone all the way for the Royals. He struck out 3 and walked 1. He yielded 7 Tiger hits, but they've all been singles. The pitch is swung on and fouled back into the mezzanine level, down by the clubhouse here at Royal Stadium. A beautiful multi-tiered stadium club. Our folks turn out early, have their dinner, and then stay right there and watch the ball game behind protective glass. There's a bunt by May, foul to the left side. So it's a ball and 2 strikes on Milt May. He'll be followed by Stanley and Whitaker here in the Tigers' 6th inning. Tigers got their 2 runs in the 4th to tie it at the time on singles by May and Stanley. But the Royals quickly broke it again with 2 in their half of the 4th. Pitch to Milt, swung on and bounced foul to the right side. He jammed him around the hands that time. Well, darkness has moved in to the plains now. No longer can see the cows grazing on the field across Interstate 70. There's a swing and a foul to the screen. May hitting .289. The pitch to him. He is called out on strikes. Milt was leaning, but the breaking ball clipped the inside part of the plate. That's the 4th strikeout for Leonard. We'll bring up Stanley. 1 for 2 for Mickey tonight. Stanley getting back-to-back starts in right field in this series in Kansas City. Jim Corcoran, as I mentioned at the outset of the ball game, has a pulled muscle in his side. Suffered in batting practice the other day. There's one low and away. Ball 1 on Mitchell Jack. Leonard getting the sign from Darrell Porter. Rocks back. Here's a pitch to Stanley. Swung on. There's a fly ball to deep left field. That goes back. He's got the range. Makes the catch. And there are 2 down in the 6th inning. The wind seems to be shifting around here. Now they pin it out there on the flagpole on the flag. They got it blowing in toward the plate and alternately toward right field instead of the other way. And when the game began, it was blowing in from the right field corner across the diamond. Here's Whitaker. And Lou takes a called strike. Sweet Lou is 0 for 2. His average dipping below the 300 mark to 296. Leonard winds and delivers. There's a fly ball down the left field line. It may stay fair. It's a fair ball bouncing into the corner. Lou takes for second. He's in with a stand-up double. And down playing the carom in the corner is Joe Zepp. It hit fair by just about a couple of feet and bounced off the foul wall and back onto the field. Now that's the first extra base hit of the game for the Tigers. It comes with 2 down here in the 6th inning and brings up Aurelio Rodriguez. 2 games this afternoon in the National League. Montreal beat San Diego 3-1. And the Giants took Philadelphia 6-1. Here's the set, the pitch to Rodriguez. He cuts and misses. Ross Grimsley won his 11th game of the year for Montreal today. Countess Montefusco was the winner for the Giants. 1 game tonight is all of the National League, not yet underway. The Mets playing at Los Angeles. Aurelio's 0 for 2. He has bounced out to Brett both times. Now, time called. Rodriguez a little tired of waiting on Leonard. He's back in. Now Leonard goes to the belt. Here's the pitch. A little low, 1-1 on Rodriguez. Whitaker at second with 2 down, and the Tigers' 6th inning. It's 4-2. The Royals in front. There's a cut and a miss on a curve. Leonard taking a little extra time, looking in now into the stretch. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on, a ground ball to short. Paddock handles the second hop. The throw to first is high. Hurdle comes down, and out at first is Rodriguez. He tried to slide in underneath. Hurdle came down and made the tag before he hit the bag. Good play at first by the rookie Hurdle, retiring the Tigers. No runs, hits, no errors, and a man left after 5.5 innings. It's the Royals 4, the Tigers 2.
When I traded in my old wagon for an economy one, all my buddies said I'd have to give up a lot. You know, profit, room, and comfort. Well, I didn't give up. I got this Plymouth. I sure didn't give up big car rides. I didn't give up room for 6. I didn't give up comfort. Oh, I did give up one thing when I bought my Volare wagon. A lot of trips to the gas station.
Don't compromise when you economize. Although your mileage may vary, the EPA rates a 1-barrel, 6-cylinder Volare wagon with manual transmission at 25 miles per gallon highway, 18 city. Don't give up. Get a Plymouth Volare wagon, America's first choice in wagons over the past 2 years.
Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up. Get a Volare.
For a great value on Plymouth Volare, see your Greater Detroit Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
We have word now from Yankee Stadium that Greg Nettles has hit another home run. It came with 2 on, a 3-run blast by Nettles, giving the Yankees at least a 5-1 lead over Seattle. Here's Poquette batting for Joe Zeb, leading off the 6th inning, and he takes it low and away. We've had an explanation that Zeb left the ball game. He experienced a little swelling in his ankle, perhaps sprained his ankle in trying to avoid a collision with Amos Otis in the outfield in the last inning, or 2 innings ago, actually. There's a curve that is a strike 1-1 now on Poquette. The pitch from Morris. Swung on, fly ball to left center field. That might get between them. Kemp is chasing, LaFleur chasing it, bounces off the wall. LaFleur retrieves. Heading for third is Poquette. The relay by Trammell. He is safe for third, a triple. Poquette hit a fly ball to deep left center field. It took 1 hop right between LaFleur and Kemp and bounced high off the wall, and he legged out a triple. The play at third was close because Trammell made a fine relay throw right to Rodriguez. Here's Hal McRae.
1 for 2 officially. He's driven on a run with a sacrifice. There's a bouncer to deep third. Rodriguez checks the runner, throws to first. He got McRae, and holding at third is Poquette. Well, that'll bring up Brett now with 1 out and a runner at third. Four to 2, the Royals lead the Tigers here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Royals got a run in the second, 1 in the third. On the homer by Otis, Tigers got 2 in the 4th. The Royals got 2 in their half of the 4th to make it 4-2. There's a strike called. Brett leaning into the plate, but he took it on the inside corner. Tiger infield playing up not quite all the way because of the artificial turf, but they're playing in fairly close all the way around. With a runner at third and 1 down, the Tigers can ill afford letting the Royals get any further ahead. Here's the pitch. There's a fly ball to deep right center field. That may be. LaFleur backing up will have the room. He makes the catch, and it will be an easy run for Tom Poquette as he trots in from third on a long sacrifice fly by George Brett, making it 5-2. And that's the second sacrifice fly in this game. The Royals scored 3 times last night on sacrifice flies. Well, the bases are empty, but a run in for the Royals, 2 down, and Amos Otis will step in. Otis takes a fast one outside. Otis has walked, homered, and lined to Whitaker. The windup by Jack. He kicks and fires. Low, 2-0 on Otis. Sykes started, went 3 innings, pitched to 2 men in the 4th, and Morris took over. It's now 5-2 Royals in the 6th inning. High, 3-0 now on Otis. Now Boston has come up with a couple of runs. They've tied Oakland at 3-3, top of the 8th inning at Fenway Park. But California has added to its lead over Baltimore in the top of the 9th, 5-1. High and inside, Otis takes a walk. That's the first walk issued by Morris. Comes with 2 out here in the 6th inning and brings up Al Collins. Collins not having nearly the season he had a year ago for Kansas City. Hitting .250, 2 homers, 24 RBIs. Throw to first, Otis did not have much of a lead and gets back easily. Collins is 0 for 3 tonight. Morris sets. And then tosses to first again. Kind of a reminder to Otis, trying to keep him close over there. Now Otis gets that pretty good lead again. He can run inside to Collins for a ball. Now Otis missed 1 game in Detroit last weekend because of that Achilles tendon problem. Came back, wasn't supposed to be 100% and stole a base in the game. And he doesn't go. It's a pop foul out of play behind the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike on Al Collins. The Royals lead here in the bottom of the 6th inning. They've scored a run. Otis is at first with 2 down. Morris ready. Here's the pitch. It's high to Collins, 2-1. Well, Dave Rozema will test that arm of his tomorrow night in the opener of the 3-game set in Minnesota. We'll be on the air at the same time, 8:15, with Ernie's pregame show. Otis goes. The pitch is swung on. A bouncer to short. Trammell has it. He'll go to first. He got him at first base, and that's all for the Royals in the 6th inning. But they pick up 1 more run on 1 hit. They also had a walk, no errors, 1 man left after 6 innings of play. It's Kansas City 5, Detroit 2.
With this break in the action, here is a WJR News update. The Soviet news agency TASS reports 2 cosmonauts have been launched into space on board the Soyuz 29 spacecraft. TASS report says the 2 men were fired into space shortly after 4 o'clock today, Detroit time. About 300 students rioted in Panama today, some for the new Panama Canal treaties and other opposed to the agreements. 2 of the rioters were shot to death. Tomorrow, President Carter travels to Panama for ceremonies dedicating the new canal treaties, plus a major foreign policy speech. The White House says the rioting will not deter Carter from carrying out his schedule. The president of Italy resigned today amid charges of complicity in that country's Lockheed bribery scandal and income tax evasion. In Michigan, an emergency fireworks ban took effect today. There's still a lot of confusion over what types of fireworks can legally be sold. U.S. automakers are expected to turn out nearly 192,000 cars this week. That's down from the 215,000 produced in the same week of a year ago. This has been a WJR News Update.
Now, Dennis Leonard now with a 3-run lead as he gets set to face the Tigers here in the 7th inning in Kansas City. Alan Trammell will lead it off, and back for the play-by-play in the 7th, here's Ernie Harwell.
Thank you, Paul. Terry Poquette is out in left field now, playing out there at batting for the man he replaces, Joe Zebb. It'll be Trammell at the plate for the Tigers. He's had 2 for 2 off Leonard. 5 runs, 11 hits for the Royals, 2 hits for the Tigers. There's a cut and a miss by Alan Trammell as the 7th inning gets started. California leading Baltimore, 9th inning, 5-1 in Baltimore. Oakland, Boston are tied 3-3 in the 8th. Trammell hits a chopper to third base. Brett has it. Fires across the diamond in time. Brett's the hurdle for the out in the 7th inning. And the batter now will be Ron LaFleur. That's the first time Trammell's been retired tonight. LaFleur struck out the first 2 times. The last time up in the 5th inning, he hit in the 4th out on the ground ball to shortstop. Yankees in the 8th inning are batting in the 8th and leading Seattle 5-2. Chicago had a Texas 2-1 in the 7th. Cleveland, Minnesota rained out tonight in Minnesota. There's a fastball into close, ball 1 on LaFleur. The Tigers are trailing by 3 runs, 5-2 in the 7th inning. They've got 1 out and the base is empty. Leonard's gone all the way for KC. Foul back to the screen right down below us. 1-1 the count on Ron. They've got Otis now over in right center. He's playing him to hit the right more than he had earlier. And LaFleur takes a strike. The slider got the outside corner. Nipping off the corner on the right-hand batter. 1-2 the count on leadoff man LaFleur, batting here with 1 down in the 7th inning and nobody on the bases. Here's the pitch on the way. He takes a slider that is off the corner this time, 2-2. The Tigers got their 2 runs in the 4th. Walked to Kemp, single by Stop, single by May, got in 1, and then Stanley single in the other one. 2-2 pitch. Cut on, he struck him out. Got him on a fastball knee high. It's the 3rd time LaFleur's fanned. That is the 5th strikeout for Leonard. 2 down in the Tigers' 7th inning. Here's Steve Kemp without a hit tonight, but he's walked and scored a run. Bounced to a second. He walks in the 4th inning and then popped the shortstop to win the 5th. Leonard, the right-hander, kicks and delivers. It is a slow one that's high, ball 1. (5-2), KC leading it, trying to make it 2 straight over the Tigers. Here's the foul to the screen. Checked his swing, but fouled the pitch away. 1-1 the count on him. The White Sox keep amazing everybody. They're leading now in the 8th inning at Chicago, 2-1 over Texas. Line shot, base hit, center field. Kemp's up with his first hit. Otis has a little trouble fielding the ball, but picks it up and fires it back to the infield. Kemp hauls with a long single to center, and the batter will be Rusty Staub. Rusty has bounced out and singled twice. Man on first, 2 men out. Tigers need some runs. They trail by 3, 5-2, 7th inning. Left-hand batting stop at the plate, and he swings and pops it up. That one should end the inning. Here comes Brett. Porter's there, and it is Porter to make the catch. He fell down while he caught the ball, but he held on, and the inning is over. The Tigers, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 man left, and at the end of 6.5, Royals 5, Detroit 2.
You know, there are some basics in life that are important to most people. One of them is getting what you pay for. That's why a lot of people have gotten to be friends with their marathon man, because they know he takes a personal interest in the well-being of their cars, an interest that goes beyond just filling the tank and checking the oil. Your marathon man still thinks wiping your windshield, checking the air in your tires, and the water in your battery are part of what you pay for when you come into his station. And your marathon man still knows how to service your car when it needs it, and how to treat you the way he likes to be treated when he's a customer. So if you haven't already gotten to be friends with your marathon man, well, you really ought to. You'll definitely get what you pay for, and probably a little bit more.
So get together with a friend who do the best. Go see your marathon man.
Marathon Oil Company. We got together to do it better, and we do.
Post Office Station identification. This is the Detroit Tiger Baseball Network.
You're listening to the great voice of the Great Lakes, WJR Detroit Radio 76, a service of Capital Cities Communications.
Here's Hurdle to lead it off now, the youngster playing first base. Morris delivers. It's a high fly ball to short left center. Here comes Kemp. He's there. He has it 1 away. 1 pitch and 1 out in the KC 7th inning. Royals in the lead, 5-2 over Detroit. And the catcher, Darrell Porter, will be up next. He has a fly to center, bounce to second and single. Well, the McAvoys, Mulligans, and Kellys, this team from Detroit, are all here to try to get the Tigers on the winning side. Right now, the Royals are keeping them from it, as the Royals have a 3-run lead, 5-2. Porter not quite ready, trying to get into that left-hand batter's box now. 1 out in the 7th inning. Well, Boston has taken the lead away from Oakland, 7-3 in the 9th inning. Oakland batting in the 9th at Fenway. There's a cut on the miss by Porter. Have those Boston's been tough at Fenway Park? What is it, 25-4? I think their record up there now is. Something ridiculous like that. There's a ball that hit in front of the plate and bounds away. Morris came in the game, relieving the starting pitcher, Sykes, in the 4th inning. Here's the pitch. He takes the ball wide. 2-1, the count on Porter. John Heller working in the Detroit bullpen. Here's the pitch on the way. Porter swings and fouls it off. It'll be in the seats. 2-2, the count on him. Brett with a couple of singles and a sacrifice. Otis for the home run. Hurdle with 2 singles. White with a single and a double. They have paced the hitting attack for KC. There's a little chop hit on the ground foul over to first base. 5 runs, 11 hits for the Royals. The Tigers 2 runs, 9 hits. There have been 2 errors in the game. The Tigers have committed both. One by May, one by Travel. Outfield deep and around to right. Now let's see what Morris will give him on a 2-2 delivery. Here it is. He takes the ball low. That was a breaking pitch. Scoreboard show with Paul Carey will follow our broadcast. Paul will have details of all the other games. There's a low one. He walked him. Morris pitches a walk. And Freddie Patek will be stepping up. Now, Fred's not had a hit, but he scored a couple of runs. Very aggressive on the bases. And it's paid off for him in this short series. He's had a walk, he's safe on an error, safe on a force out. Picked up a stolen base and scored a couple of runs. Infield and double play depth on the right-hand batting shortstop, and the pitch is on the way, hit on the ground up the middle for a base hit. Porter rounding second, moves to third, and Patek has his first hit a single, putting Royals at first and third and one away. That'll bring up the number 9, the batter in the batting order. Frank White has had 2 singles, who's had a single and a double, and has bounced to shortstop. 12 hits now for KC. They play the infield in double play depth. We're getting up papers, scraps of paper, hot dog wrappers, etc. I think all-star voting ballots blowing on the field, and they have to be picked up by members of the ground crew or the bat boy. It's a pitch out, but Patek's not moving at first base. Ball 1 the count. I've got Thompson holding with Freddie over there first. Porter coming down the line a little bit from third base. Patek edges off, draws a throw from Morris. Just a little lob over there. Now Jack Morris, the lean right-handed set. There goes Patek. The ball is bunted, and it is foul. They had the squeeze on that time, but he bunted the ball foul on the first base side. Well, there's 3 games in the 9th inning now in the American League. Yankees lead Seattle 5-2 in the 9th. Boston over Oakland 7-3 in the 9th. California ahead of Baltimore in the 9th inning 5-1. Chicago leading Texas in the 8th 2-1. Cleveland, Minnesota rained out. One night game in the National League out in Los Angeles. And we don't have any report on that one yet. Now Patek back at first base. 1-1 count. He doesn't go. The pitch is swung on and missed by White. 1-2 the count on Frank. Royals leading. They're batting in the 7th against Morris. There goes Patek. The ball is fouled away back of the plate. Well, Fred all the way to second will have to come on back. Royals scored first in this game. They got a run in the 2nd inning. Had one in the 3rd on Otis's home run. Now then the Tigers tied the game in the 4th inning. On a walk to Kemp, the single by Saab, the RBI singles by May and Stanley. And the Royals came back with 2 in that same inning and added 1 in the 6th. Morris ready, delivers, Patek goes, bounding ball to left, takes hit. On the hit and run again, and then the score comes Porter. Patek takes third on the left field single. It is 6-2, Kansas City in the lead. They are running and hitting against the Tigers. And it is paid off for Whitey Herzog. That is the 13th Kansas City hit. White picks up his 2nd RBI of the night. His 3rd hit. Tom Poquette will be the batter now, and with the left-hander coming up there, Ralph Houk is coming out of the dugout. Hiller has been throwing in the Detroit bullpen. They're waiting for Houk at the mound. Talking with Milt May, with Jack Morris. Samuel is in there among the group. And now Ralph decides that he wants John Hiller to come in here in the 7th, and the score of the Royals 6 to Tigers 2.
So John Hiller is going to take over for Jack Morris here in the 7th inning with 1 out. And runners at first and third and a run in, making it 6-2 Kansas City. We've got a final now out of Baltimore. The California Angels have ended the Orioles' winning streak at 13 games.
The Angels coming up with a 5-1 victory over Baltimore tonight. Hampton homered in that game for California as Frank Tanana stops the string of the Orioles, winning his 10th game against 3 defeats. Scott McGregor takes the loss, his 4th. He's won 7. Dower had homered for Baltimore in that ball game, but their 13-game winning streak comes to an end. California beats the Birds 5-1. Now, this broadcast is made possible by the Detroit Baseball Club and the American League and is intended for the private use of our listening audience. Rebroadcast or other use of this play-by-play is prohibited unless prior consent is received from WJR Detroit, the Detroit Tiger Baseball Club, and the American League. The announcers for this broadcast are selected and employed by WJR Radio and the Detroit Tiger Baseball Club. On the minor league level, Evansville played a 15-inning ball game last night at home and lost to Springfield 3-2. Tiger General Manager Jim Campbell saw himself an extra inning game down there last night, 15 innings worth. Montgomery got a 14-strikeout, 2-hit performance from Mike Chris, who's now won 6 and lost 5 as Chris shut out Savannah 2-0. Alter Green had a pair of hits, including a home run, his 14th of the year for Montgomery. Lakeland won its 2nd in a row, beating Miami 5-4 in 10 innings. Tigers had only 3 hits, but managed to score 5 times to win it. As Ernie pointed out earlier, Kirk Gibson went 0 for 4 in his pro debut in center field for the Lakeland Tigers. The rookie from Waterford Kettering and Michigan State University had only 1 fly ball come his way, and he handled that all right. Dave Steffen of Flat Rock was the winning pitcher in that game in relief. He's won 6 times. Now the veteran John Hiller takes over as the 3rd Tiger pitcher. With runners at 1st and 3rd, a run in and 1 out. Ernie?
And here is Poquette, who's been about 1 time and tripled off Morris back in the 6th inning. There's a strike call. Hiller got a breaking ball over. 6 runs and 13 hits for the Royals. The Tigers have 2 runs and 9 hits. It's the 7th inning. Hiller trying to stop the Royals' surge here in the 7th. Takes his step and pitches. There's a ball outside. Nobody in either bullpen right now. McRae waiting at the on-deck circle. Man at 3rd is Freddie Potak. The man at 1st is White. Both excellent runners. And Poquette takes a curve wide. Make it a 2-1 count on Tom. Outfield plays him straight away. Now Trammell backs up about a step at short. Hiller pitches, and it is a foul ball on a check swing. Bullpen's a very interesting place in the ballpark. Chuck Estrada once said that at Texas, we had a very scientific system of bringing in relief pitchers. We used the first one who answered the phone. He was the incoming pitcher. Here's the pitch. He swings a little chopper hit on the ground to Whitaker. Over to 2nd for 1. Relay by Trammell to Thompson. It is a double play, and John Hiller gets the job done. However, the Royals pick up another run in the 7th inning, 1 run on 2 hits. There was a walk, no errors, and 1 man left, and we go to the 8th. It is Royals 6, the Tigers 2.
I've got grease on my fingers, oil on my shoes, and I'm always under the hood. But I wouldn't change places with anyone else, even if I could. I've worked on every car, big and small, every kind of engine too. And there's one thing that applies to them all, whether they're old or new. You can't buy better blood for any kind of car than Champion. You can't buy better blood no matter where you are than Champion. Champion's #1 in the world, they're #1 in your car. Some folks don't mind working in a big place, being part of a team. I prefer just me and that engine, nobody in between. You can't buy better blood for any kind of car than Champion. You can't buy better blood no matter where you are than Champion. Champion's #1 in the world, they're #1 in your car. No, you can't buy better blood for any kind of car than Champion. You can't buy better blood no matter where you are than Champion.
Get your Tigers bumper sticker from your Marathon Man, a full-service dealer. Now available at your participating Marathon service station. No purchase necessary.
We're getting the attendance now. 19,721 is the paid attendance tonight. We go to the 8th inning in Kansas City, and the Royals continuing to hold the lead. They're 6-2. Final from Boston, the Red Sox beat Oakland 7-3. Final from New York, the Yankees beat Seattle 5-2. Paul gave you that Baltimore final. The Orioles had their winning streak stopped by Tanana, and California whipped them 5-1. Latest we have from the White Sox, they are still leading Texas in the 8th inning 2-1. Here's Thompson at the plate with a single for 3, and he takes a Leonard curveball low, ball 1. 8th inning getting underway. The Tigers need instant runs. They trail by 4, 6-2. It's a ball outside. It's 2-0 the count on him. Thompson, May, and Stanley. May and Stanley have delivered the RBIs for the Tigers this evening. Now Leonard winds, delivers. There's a foul back on the screen. Now, last night we told you about a gentleman had an Amos Otis T-shirt on, and a little doll stepped down there on the ledge in front of the box seat. He's back. He's got another Amos Otis T-shirt on. This one's different, and he's got Amos's number 26 on the back. Cut a foul off the middle quarter, and the count is 2-2 on Jason. Got that same seat. He may be a season box holder.
And he's not very young either, Ernie.
Here's the windup and the 2-2 pitch. He swings and lifts the foul out of play. It'll be in the seats over on the third base side. In that Yankee game, Gullett is the winner. He's 1-0. Mitchell takes the loss. He's 2-7. Rivers hit a home run in the 6th with nobody on. Nettles hit one in the 7th with 2 men on for the Yankees. And that final from New York, the Yankees beat Seattle 5-2. Here's Thompson waiting on a 2-2 serve. He swings and misses. Struck him out. The 6th strikeout by Leonard. Here's May. He's fouled the catcher, singled and fanned. His single in the 4th inning drove home a run. 8th inning in Kansas City. The Tigers struggling to get back in this one. Now May, the left-handed batting catcher, takes a breaking pitch in for a strike. Got the inside corner. Over the weekend, the Tigers will be in Minnesota battling the Minnesota Twins. Twins were rained out tonight in their scheduled game with Cleveland at Minnesota. There's a ball in too close on May. 1-1 the count on him. This afternoon, the Montreals beat San Diego 3-1. The Giants beat the Phillies 6-1. The Mets at L.A. tonight. There's a pitch over but low, making the count on May 2 balls and 1 strike. The Tigers without hits are LaFleur and Rodriguez, the only 2 without them. They've had a total of 9. May fouls it away to the seat. Trammell has 2 hits and Staub has 2. All the hits have been singles except a double by Whitaker. Tigers generally in the last couple of weeks have not had much extra base power. Now the 2-2 pitch to May. Swing, there's a line foul down into the right field corner, bouncing around down there. Brett is very wide, almost over the shortstop on May. Potek is in center field. There's a strike. He got a curve over, and May is called out. The 7th strikeout for Leonard. Here's a little more detail on that Boston game. The Red Sox won it 7-3. Torres, the winning pitcher, and Lacey, the loser. Rice and Yastrzemski had Boston home runs. That's number 21 for the Major League leader, Jim Rice. Here's Stanley at the plate now. Mickey playing in right field is hit into a double play, single in the run and fly to left. Leonard delivers. It is a strike call. He got one above the knees and over the plate. Royals with a 6-2 lead. The Tigers batting with 2 down in the 8th inning. The bases are empty. Fly ball at the right field. Easy chance for Cowens. He's under it waiting. He has it. And the side out. 1-2-3 in the Tiger 8th. At the end of 7.5 innings, Royals 6, Detroit 2.
Can you afford to throw money away? At the supermarket? In your car? Where you bank? City National Bank knows every nickel counts. That's why there's a big difference between City National and those other banks that charge you for writing checks.
Nobody has got what City National Bank has got.
City National Bank saves you money again with combo checking. Keep a minimum of $200 in checking or savings. You write all your checks without charge. All your checks without charge. Combo checking. No other bank in Michigan has it. No statement fees. No charge for check. Don't throw your money away on annoying service charges on checks. Come on in and open a City National Bank charge-free combo checking account now.
Who's got it? Nobody but City National Bank.
Also available at National Bank of Rochester and First Citizens Bank in Troy.
John Hiller, who came in and forced the last man to bat in that inning, Poquette hit into a double play that ended the inning, goes to work down McRae in the eighth. Jerry Peters of Denver is a great Tiger fan. He's in the ballpark tonight, but before he came out, he wanted to let his brother Jack back in Detroit know that he got his daughter to the airport on time before he got to the ballpark. He was doing the job. Well, here's McRae up. And it is a curve over for a strike. Max had a single fly to right and a sacrifice fly to center and bounced to third base. Hiller delivers a breaking pitch in too close on McRae. 1-1, the count on the designated batter. There's a ball in too close on him. 2-1. White Sox are leading Texas in the ninth inning at Chicago, 3-1. Fly ball lifted to fairly deep center field. The floor's over there now. He's waiting. He has it, and McRae is out. Here's George Brett with 2 for 3 plus a sacrifice. And a couple of fly ball sacrifices, one by McRae and one by Brett. Oh, they don't have time to bat in those instances. There's a swing and a miss by Brett. Sacrifice rule was first adopted by the major leagues in 1908. There's a ball outside, 1-1. At first, it was just a man scoring. And then in 1926, they made it advancing on any fly ball, whether you scored or not. That rule was wiped out in 31 and restored for 1 year in 39, then discarded. And now you've got to score. There's a cut and a miss, and he struck him out. Now Brett went for the Hiller curveballs a couple of times and couldn't find him, and strikes out. So Amos Otis will be the batter now. Amos with a walk, a home run. He's lined to second base, and he's walked again. That's the first strikeout for Hiller. Tigers started Sykes, then Morris, and then Hiller. Changeup is high on Amos. Ball 1. 6-2, the Royals lead the Tigers. Royals trying for a sweep from the 2-game set. Tigers try to break their 3-game losing streak. Here's a pitch in too close on Otis. 2-0, the count on him. Ball that got by everybody, hit the screen, bounced back. 3-0, the count on Otis. Sykes went 3 innings plus. Morris went 3 1/3. Sykes gave up 4 runs. Morris allowed 2. He walked him. It was high and outside. Second walk to Otis, the first runner since Hiller took over.
Report on John Walker. It was a dislocation. Left shoulder and put back into place. Walker will be placed on the 15-day disabled list effective. We'll put him on the list tomorrow.
Well, we're getting a report on John Watson. There's a foul fly that may reach the seats. Off the bat of Cowan, it'll be out of play back in the seat. I didn't get that fully.
Yeah,
Did you hear?
John did indeed suffer a dislocated left shoulder, and he's going to be placed on the 15-day disabled list.
Tough break for Watson. He made a great play in that first inning. Now the pitch on the way. Runner goes. Bounding ball fair inside of third. He'll maybe get a double off of this one. Otis rounding third. He's coming home to score. It's a two-base hit for Cowan and another run in. He drilled one inside the bag at third down in the corner. A two-base hit for Cowan and Otis scores. So Hiller now has allowed a run. As the Royals have picked up runs in each of the last three innings. 7-2, they lead it. Hurdle at the plate, and he takes the ball outside. That is the 14th hit for the KC Royals. Now the set, the kick, the pitch, swung on and fouled away. Hiller kicks and delivers. It is a high fastball. 2-1 on young Mr. Hurdle. Darrell Porter waiting on deck. Curve low and outside from John. 3-1 the count. Five-run margin for the Royals here in the 8th inning. There's a strike. He got a fastball in. Full count on him. Hiller checks his sign with May, goes to work, kicks and deals. It is a strike called. He struck him out. Hurdle is called out on strikes, and the inning is over. Second strikeout for Hiller, both in this inning. On a walk and a double, will get a run in. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left. And at the end of 8, the Royals 7 and the Tigers 2.
Okay, fans, it's time to test your memory in the Labatt's Baseball Trivia Quiz. Ready? Name the team that holds the Major League record for hitting the most home runs in a single season against one opposing team. Try to remember. And while you do, here's something else to remember.
Remember Labatt, the clean water, blue sky taste of Canada beer. Labatt.
Yes, fans, Labatt's beer is beer at its finest. A very special brew imported fresh from Canada. When it's time for beer, remember Labatt's, the clear water, blue sky taste of Canada beer. Brewed in Canada since 1828. Here's the answer. In 1956, the old Kansas City A's really took it on the chin from the New York Yankees. In that season, the Yanks ripped Kansas City pitching for 48 home runs, the most ever by one club in one season against a single opponent. Our pleasure, as always, in the Labatt's Baseball Trivia Quiz, brought to you by Labatt Importers, Amherst, New York.
Hi, I'm Mac McClendon. I'll be playing in the 6th annual J.P. McCarthy Wabeek Powell Invitational, Tuesday, June 20th, 1978. Hope to see you there.
Change at first base for the Royals. Pete Lecoq goes in to replace Hurdle. The Tigers are batting in the 9th inning. They trail this one 7-2. Leonard's gone all the way. He's got a season high for himself now in strikeouts, 7. He's walked 1. He's allowed the Tigers 9 hits, but he's scattered them thoroughly. Tigers scoring their 2 runs in the 4th inning. Walks to Kemp, a single by Staub, and RBI singles by May and Stanley. Here's Whitaker to lead it off, and he takes his slider over for a strike. Well, Chicago wins another one. The White Sox beat Texas 3-1. Stone the winner and Medic the loser in that one. There's a ball in close. 1-1 the count on Sweet Lou Whitaker. Tigers need a bunch of runs here. They trail by 5, 7-2 in the 9th inning. He bunts, and it's foul back at the plate. Came back and hit Porter on the hand, I believe. Texas had only 3 hits off Stone. Paul Carey will have details on that game and all the others on the scoreboard show, so stay tuned. Now Leonard checking his time with his catcher Porter. Whitaker waiting at the plate. 1-2 the count on Lou. 7-2 the score. Kansas City leads. Whitaker fouls it away. Let's pause for station identification. This is the Detroit Tiger Baseball Network.
J.P. McCarthy provides the go power for your morning drive here on WJR Detroit Radio 76.
Whitaker swings and misses, striking out to start the ninth inning. That's 3 strikeouts out of the last 4 batters. Now number 8 for Leonard, and the batter will be Rodriguez. Aurelio without a hit. He and LaFleur, the only Tigers who do not have a hit. Bounced to third twice and the shortstop once. It is a ball outside, low and away on Aurelio. Outfield straight up and the infield back. Well, everything's over in the American League now except this game. There's a line drive to right. Here comes Cowens. He's got it on the run toward the diamond. So there are 2 down in the Tiger ninth inning, and Alan Trammell will be the batter. Seven runs, 14 hits, and no errors for the Royals. Detroit 2 runs, 9 hits. They've made 2 errors. Leonard pitches, and Trammell slices a foul out of play on the right field side. California beat Baltimore 5-1. Boston over Oakland 7-3. New York over Seattle 5-2. Chicago beat Texas 3-1. Minnesota, Cleveland rained out. One night game in the National League, not reporting in yet. The Mets at Los Angeles. Here's the pitch. Ooh, watch out. That one almost hit him. He backed off. 1-1 the count on Alan Trammell. Tigers are not able to do anything with Leonard tonight. They picked up 2 runs off him in the 4th inning on a walk to Kemp, a single by Staub, and then after the first baseman Thompson struck out, May and Stanley followed with RBI singles. Trammell takes a slider wide at 2-1. Ninth inning, 2 outs, nobody on. He swings at a bounding ball deep short. It's through for a base hit. Trammell keeping it alive for the Tigers. Gets his 3rd hit down there in the number 9 slot. And the number 10 in the hit column for Detroit. So Ron LaFleur will be the batter. Ron's had a tough time at the plate tonight. He struck out 3 times and hit into a force to the shortstop. 2 down and 1 on. The Tigers trail by 5, 7-2 behind the Royals. Leonard ready, sets and pitches. There's a ball wide, a breaking ball, ball 1. Trammell on first. They're not bothered too much by him right now with a 5-run margin in the 9th with 2 outs. Swinging the bounding ball to short. Paczak has it. That ends the game as he crosses over and touches second ahead of Trammell. And the Royals sweep the 2-game series with the Tigers. In the 9th inning, no runs on 1 hit. There were no errors and 1 man left. And the final score here in Kansas City tonight, the Royals 7 and the Tigers 2.